friends, welcome to my channel. If you're brand new here, my name is Gina. I'm the creative here on YouTube behind Create and Daydream. And what we're doing today is we are flipping through all 30 days of my gratitude documented ring book. I'm just going to be talking briefly about each card. So if this is something you want to check out, hang on in here and let's get started. My little ring book ended up nice and fluffy and chunky, and it's a little bit of mixed media, a little bit of junk journal, and I just love it so much. And a quick little disclaimer here in the beginning, I'm still fighting a cold, so I'm a little bit stuffed up. I apologize. It may be super annoying. I'm not sure. But, okay. Page 1. This is my intro page. I put on here some Mod Podge with tissue. I put on a thankful and I brought in the floral. I brought in one of the tags that Shauna Well puts in the shop every so often with a little bit of fabric on it. And let me just tell you, I'm extraordinarily thankful for each and every single one of you, whether you stopped by for a day, 2 days, 3 days, or 30 days in November. You all just blessed me so much. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I just turned my phone to silent. Okay, so on the back side, I just wrote out gratitude documented. I have a little prayer. I kind of kicked everything off. In here, I had the prompts and the verses, but I used pencil on it and I erased some, and it literally erased the prompts away. So that's supposed to be before this one. This one has all of the people that contributed to Illustrated Faith via Reels for November, and I want to just include their names in my project. You can literally read my little note on the side there that literally explains that Shauna Well did this for the first time. I haven't seen it before, so I really like that. On the back of there, I just put a little reminder to pray for Beth Castro, who shut down her beloved society shop. Here is card number 1. This set the precedent for all my cards. One, I learned that I loved Mod Podging tissue paper. We did a lot of that. We brought in some paint. We stitched on, I believe, all the cards, whether we stitched down the ephemera or the fabric, and I just love it so much. Like when you finish a project and you look back through it, there's like this sense of accomplishment. And in this case, for me, like I can go back and listen to what I talked about, and it just makes my heart warm. And like read your comments, y'all. Y'all just like made my heart swell. So, okay, day 2, I brought in some paper. I had like this little kid paper from something. This has some stamps from the kit, and then looks pretty similar. Like these first 3 I feel look kind of similar, but like this card, Watching Wild Dreams Unfold, this has a lot on it. So I painted on this, I Mod Podged on this, I brought in library cards, and then I have ephemera, and then obviously I have the Watching Wild Dreams Unfold with some fabric and some stitching. So with every card, the back of the card has the verse. That's how I started out the whole project. And then the front of the card has the ephemera prompt. So this is Seasons of Life. So for this one, I had some stuff on clear Mako sticker paper. That's in the background. I brought some washi, and then I just kind of tied everything together with layers. This is one of my favorite cards. So this is when I decided, okay, I don't necessarily have to use everything in the Gratitude Documented kit. I'm going to pull a card from my Faith Place, which is our War Binder project. And I'm going to bring in like florals and butterflies that match with that. And this kind of like set me in the tone of, okay, I can mix things up. It's all good. It's my project, you know, so I can do that. This ended up being one of my favorites. It's got a nice little piece of Mod Podge tissue. We got some washi, and then over on the right, we have beautiful conversations with the butterfly and some florals and the fabric. Trinity, I just like this card because I love the washi. Like Tamara Arcelia's artwork is so beautiful, so you really don't need anything with it. And I don't really know what else to say about it. Like, I love her florals. You're going to see me use them at Christmas time. This is Love and Affection. This was a little bit of a layered card. I did some tissue Mod Podge. I painted this yellow. Goldenrod yellow is my favorite. And then I brought in acetate, and we layered up the middle portions, and we stitched on some black fabric. I am a fan of bringing in black with every project. I really feel like that's a color that you can't go wrong with. Okay, so day number 9, tranquility. This was my day to share on the Illustrated Faith feed for Instagram, and I wanted to mix it up. I wanted to do something different. So here I brought in the green papers, Andrea Gray. I brought in some Vanessa Walker's numbers. I brought in a camera from my Faith Place kit. I brought in one of Kelly Bang's big old florals to put on the top of that, and I used some, again, goldenrod or that mustard yellow fabric, and I love it so much. Here I'm just going to show you my page because I briefly shared this on the Illustrated Faith feed in my reel, and I'm going to do a flip through of November because I did work in my art journal in November. You just didn't see it because I was doing 30 days of video, and then I got sick, so it was just a wild month. But I really love how this page turned out. So what I did for my reel was I had already kind of like laid down paint and the number stickers from Vanessa Walker. I also laid down all of the prompts, and I stamped the verses next to them. So what you're seeing behind with the white gel pen is me writing out the verses, and that kind of continues on through my art journal. And I just wanted to share, like, I left the twine in there. I'm at the very end of my art journal, so I can like bulk it up a little bit more because we're about finished, so it does not matter. But tranquility, this ended up being one of my favorite days, obviously because I went over and I also did it in my faith journal. Okay, so the other thing that you're seeing that I did, I believe for at least half of them, is I wrote a prayer on the back of each card. I also Bible journaled during this. I mentioned this at one point in time saying, oh, I think I want a Bible journal. Well, I did. So I'm going to share that. And in my Bible journal, it's just like brief little snippets of journaling as well as like brief little prayers. For this project, I wrote some pretty like deep prayers, kind of wrapped around the verses. And that one over there that says John 14:27, I messed up on that card, so I had to come in and write it. And that's all good. The beauty of nature, this is when I started bringing in fabric and like putting it completely down on the card. I love that. So you're going to see a full one of those. This right here, I took a beautiful like piece of artwork by Mary Wongren on clear Mako sticker paper. I put some vellum down. I put some paint down. I did bring in Mod Podge a little bit of like brown bag. And then I just brought in one big pretty floral with matching material, and I just stitched it down. And I love it. Like, I really love this project. I'm probably going to say that 100 times, but here's another one where I took one of Vanessa Walker's really beautiful florals and I just laid it down. I wrapped the side with some washi tape, and I grabbed a couple pieces from various kits to use for my ephemera. That hearts is one of them. That might not be a couple. And then I brought in some blue fabric that I thought tied in well with Vanessa's florals. Okay, so my church family, this might look different because I believe that I had this popped up a little bit more. It was too chunky. So what I did was I took the washi at the top. I believe I laid that down 2 or 3 times. I put paper on the bottom, and then I just kind of lifted up the florals in the middle. I had twine, I want to say, behind the My Church Family. I pulled that down over there to the right just to make a little bow because I was afraid my book was getting a little bit chunky. And it's nice and chunky. It's perfect, but I don't think it could have handled too much more. Here's Redemption. I layered some more florals. The background is some paint and some, I want to say that is, what is that? A paper bag with some metallic gold over there and this really pretty pink fabric. So one thing that I did that I stayed true to is I used everything Illustrated Faith in here. So all my ephemeras from Illustrated Faith, various kits that we've had through the last couple years, various printables. Here I took a vellum bag that our ephemera comes in, and I stuck the card inside the bag. And this is really a cute idea. I would love to do a whole album like this because, as you can see, the prayer's inside there, so you could cover up the back nicely with something else and have like a little secret prayer in there. So, little idea for you. I did not, okay, I have to take back, all the fabric is not Illustrated Faith. Some of that fabric is mine. Just a little Gotta let you know the truth. The goodness of God. So I took some orange, those are pumpkins on that fabric. I got a little lazy here and I stapled them down. I had stitched, put the ephemera on, and I stapled it down. This was one of my favorite cards. I took one of the stencils and I just kind of laid it on there and I drew it out in pencil. I painted the inside with green and then I painted the outside with like a cream, and then I just came in with a pen. Absolutely one of my favorite cards, something I'm gonna be doing again. This one I had to challenge myself because I wasn't a super fan of the scenery picture, but you bring in the right elements, it looks great. I have vellum on there, I have a frame, I have one of the camp cards from a long time ago that I ripped down. We've got some Mod Podge tissue in the back and some cute little star ribbon. Ended up being a really cute, like vintagey looking card, right? And speaking of vintage, nostalgia, I definitely had to bring in pieces that I had in my stash. I want to say these were from Word Nerd or the Compassion Cure. I brought in some little kid book paper at the bottom there. I'm showing you that it says like 1972 and 1967. I just was really leaning into like nostalgic things. And I think that card turned out really darling. Opportunities to serve others. This was a very easy card to put together. I took a set from Emily B. Creates and I cut it apart and put it in the background. I crumpled up a little piece of paper bag, put some fabric there, whammo bammo. Fantastic, cute little card, and now I'm stuck on my rings. And let me just tell you, if you want your rings to be nice at the end of your project, don't use them during your project. I scratched off most of the paint on those rings, so a little FYI for you. Best friends, I leaned in towards camp with this. I was invited to participate with camp this year, and I just wanted to lean in towards Kelly Bangs and Lisa Stander and think about these friends that I've made in this community and how special they are to me. So that is a Kelly Bangs camera, and the pink is kind of just a nod to those ladies that I love so much. God's redeeming love, John 3:16. I needed to write out John 3:16. We know it, we love it, and I decided I was going to write it on the card. I almost covered it up, and then I decided, no, we're not covering up. We're going to take a piece of vellum, we're going to put some pretty florals on it, we're going to stitch down God's redeeming love, and we're going to have it just kind of lay on top with a stitched over there on the left. And it turned out great. A nod to Jill Drinksholt, who did a vellum piece in between every card this year. She's a very creative human being. Here's where I went all in, and I just laid down a full piece of fabric. And do I love it? I love it. You just don't know. I would say these are the projects to just go for it. Try things, especially if you're doing 30 cards, just go for it. Try things out. So for this one, this had a prompt, and the card said something different. So it was unanswered prayers and prayers. So I only wanted prayers to show up over there on the right. In the inside, I wrote, "Thank you, Father, for hearing my prayers in Jesus' glorious name. Amen. Gina." And then when you fold it down, this is on a little bag, a glassine bag, and the beloved was printed on vellum. And I just came in and painted her shirt because it said something Christmassy. So, you can paint things as well. This one I love. Like, I'm going to do this in my Bibles and stuff because this is Mary Wongren. I took her words from a set. I laid those down. Then I took her little dress, and the bottom of the dress, the florals, the boots, and the floor are all Mary Wongren. I put some washi on the side, and then I just brought in 2 different colors of fabric that probably would have never picked out, but I felt like it matched really well there. And on the bottom of the last card, I cut off the brown that is underneath the rings here, and that's on Clear Mako sticker paper, and I just put it there, and it looks fantastic. I really think it really adds something to this card. I think the card would have been too plain, maybe, if I didn't do that. I also brought in some matte craft stickers, very cute little card, and some burlap. So I don't know why I wasn't bringing in burlap earlier, but again, bringing all the things. This one I painted this green and orange, and then I believe I came over it with like a gold metallic. I put down 2 bouquets of flowers in there. I painted like the little insides gold, and then I just stitched down How Love Shows Up on some green fabric, and I also have a little bit of paper bag in there. Okay, so now we're heading towards the end. This one I decided to start bringing in scrap fabric. I have some of the stamps down. I do have some paint down in the background. And I brought in a library card. And as you can see on every card, I did put the number and a date on it somewhere. So that is something else that is consistent throughout my cards. And last but not least, almost last, Brave Hope. I brought in a camera. I had that on Clear Mako sticker paper. No, I'm sorry. I brought in the typewriter that was on Clear Mako sticker paper, a little camera card, some florals. And here's when I remembered, oh yeah, you got stickers in the kit. Let's use up some stickers. So there's some stickers on that card. And here's a glimpse of Eden. I found a little craft envelope. So I laid that down and I glued just the bottom of it so the top can lift up. And then I just layered pieces of ephemera on here. So I have the worship, I have a grateful card that you can't really see. I brought in one of the florals, the other big floral. I brought in 1, 2, 3 different types of fabric and this little tag that I've decided that I'm gonna loop a little bit different. I didn't like the bow that was in there. And again, it has the date on it, it has the number, and that wraps up all 30 days. And again, I love this project so much. I will finish all of my prayers at some point. I'm in a little bit of a rush to get Advent started because my prompt and my share for Illustrated Faith is on the 4th, so I got to get on top of that. Normally, I am ahead of the game when it comes to a project, but this little stinking sickness has like really wiped me out for about almost 2 weeks now. So I fast forward you, I'm flipping back through this. Stay tuned because I have my Bible journaling flip through that I will share. I'm going to do a, what's it called? A review of the Bible that I bought. I actually very much love it. And then I'm going to be sharing Advent. I'm going to share things that I'm going to be using during December. So I'm not going to focus on, okay, I have to do something every single day. But I do have a lot that I want to share. So y'all, thank you so much for being here. God loves you. I love you so much. I'll see you soon. Bless up, my friends.